Hi everyone, welcome back to another card making video. I just got the 2 dinosaur sets from Mama Elephant in the mail, so I really wanted to make something fun with them. I combined them with some new dies I found at the budget store to create this square framed card with a matching tag. So let me show you how I've made this all. Spreek je Nederlands? Er is ondertiteling beschikbaar. First, I used these dies to cut out the frame out of some watercolor paper. The dies are from Avec Creative. Also from that brand are these tag dies. I cut the actual tag out of watercolor paper too, and I used the other ones for decorating the tag. You will see more of that later. I used this die to cut the tiny label twice out of some craft cardstock. I can't remember which brand this is, but I bet you can find something similar. Now I continue with coloring my images. I use Copic markers for this, and I put the cap with the color number on the left of my paper for you to see which color number I use. All of the images are from the Little Dinosaur agenda set from Mama Elephant. They are all stamped in Fawn jet black ink. If you want to skip watching me color, you can skip to the time that pop-ups on the screen now. You can also find the clickable time link in the description. After coloring, I like to go over the inner lines with a black fine liner to bring back some detail. This is totally optional, but for me it makes a difference. When I'm done doing the black lines, I'm adding highlights with a white gel pen. I also like to add some white dots to make the tiny dinosaurs even cuter than they already are. I die cut the images off screen. With Distress Oxide, Peacock Feathers and Mermaid Lagoon, I'm blending the frame I cut earlier. I start with Mermaid Lagoon. I use a blending brush to have a little more control and less chance of bending the paper. By the way, if you like my videos, you can support my channel by subscribing. It's totally free to do so. If you already are a subscriber, thank you! When that's done, I use a scrap piece of paper to be able to hold the frame without smudging any of the ink I've blended on, and I fill in the blanks with peacock feathers. I'm switching to Mermaid Lagoon once more to make the blend as smooth as possible. Now it's time to add some drops of water. I pick up the excess with a paper towel. When that's done, I leave that to dry and move over to the background. I'm going to blend on some clouds using Distress Oxide in the colors Tethered Rose, Worn Lipstick, Picked Raspberry and Seedless Preserves. I use the cloudy stencil from Fawn and I start with Tethered Rose. I always start with the ink on my stencil so I can gradually blend it on my paper to prevent getting a giant blob of ink at once. When I'm done with this color on the background, I move to the tag and make the same cloud there. I continue by rotating the stencil and use Worn Lipstick to do the next cloud. I like to overlap the clouds a little to add some extra depth, but I only want to do 4 clouds because I want to use 4 colors, so I keep an eye on spreading them evenly enough to get the whole background cloudy. When that's done, I move to the tag again. I do this for the other colors as well. With the last color, I also blend some on the bottom to close off the background visually. Off screen, I'm splattering both the background and the tag with bright pink paint. With the banner die that you can find in the Flippin' Awesome set from Fawn, I cut this banner. I heat embossed the sentiment out of the Me and My Dinosaur set from Mama Elephant on it with white embossing powder. I've added some tin foam tape to the back for later. Now it's time to do all the layering. I've cut a craft paper card base and I'm first gluing my stripe pattern paper that I cut a bit smaller on that with some tape runner. I can now add tin foam tape to my cloudy background and add this to the stripe paper. I've added tin foam tape to the frame as well, which I can now add to the cloudy background. Now I can stick my sentiment banner where I already added tin foam tape to the middle of the frame. I can now add the dinosaurs to the frame. I also use tin foam tape for this. One of the things I learned from my photography lessons at school is that it is always a good idea to let your subject look into the frame of the photo. I don't always follow this rule, but with this frame it's a good idea to do so. My card is done, so I move over to finish up the tag. I use the same sentiment and stamp it on with Distress Oxide Picked Raspberry. On the tiny tags I die cut it out of craft paper. I'm using Memento Espresso Truffle to stamp on the cute and tiny RAR you can find in the agenda set. Once that's done, I'm gluing those together back to back. I cut another tag out of the same stripe paper and I add this to the back of my tag. With one of the decorative element dies, I've cut a craft paper piece and a pink piece. I glue the pink one to the front and the craft paper one to the back. With the other die, I've got a craft paper ring to glue on the pink piece I've glued to the front of the tag. Now I'm putting one end of a piece of baker's twine through the front of the hole. On the other end, I add the tiny tag I've made. Now I put that end through the hole on the front as well. I can now even out the length of the twine and put both ends through the loop that's created on the front. This way the tiny tag is added to the front and the twine is attached to the tag. I tie a knot in the twine to make it a little more neat before I decide to use the tag. Now with some tin foam tape I add the remaining dinosaur to the tag and with that the tag is done. I enjoyed making this card because it's really quick, easy and relaxing to make. Making the tag while you have all the supplies out for the card anyway makes it really relaxing to do as well. I hope I inspired you with my video and that you feel inspired to get crafty as well. If so, please consider leaving a thumbs up, subscribing to my channel and ringing the bell to receive a notification when a new video is up. Thanks for watching, see you next time, bye!